Before I start this off, I just want to say this is the first time anything like this has ever happened to me. I'm not normally a cannibal. There's a sentence I never expected to say. I've always been very normal, well-adjusted person. I feel like I should be freaking out a lot more than I am right now. But I'm not. And I think that's what freaks me out the most. I think I'm in denial. I hope I'm in denial. I hope saying this out loud helps me. I've been house sitting for the past couple of weeks for some family friends. They're kind of rich people who put solar panels on everything. Their house is big, eco-friendly, with faux rustic theme and a really great high-definition TV, which is great for gaming. They are way, way out in the boonies, though. Nothing around for miles except forests and Appalachia farms. Really beautiful scenery, though. I decided to take a walk through the woods around the property. To be perfectly honest, actually, I was chasing a Vulpix on Pokemon Go. I wandered around for a very long time, trying to figure out where the fuck this thing was. I know the footprints mean 100 meters. I never got past 3 footprints. Maybe someone can explain this to me. I mean, that's not my biggest problem right now. I'm losing focus. Anyway, I came to the edge of the property. There's no fence or marker or anything. But I could tell I was nearby Edith Grant's house because the trail got really unkept and I could see old beer cans and other trash sticking out of the hummus. Edith is a neighbor, and my family friend specifically brought her up when they were giving me information about my jobs around the property. Apparently, she's kind of a nut job. She occasionally came by to complain about the noise, and when there was no noise, and she also liked to show up and angrily preach scripture. She's harmless, they told me, but I'm supposed to be careful with her. I had been everywhere else on the property and hadn't gotten any close to the Vulpix, so I thought, what the hell, and ventured onto Edith's land. Soon I started seeing signs. They were nailed to trees and stuck out of the ground, painted on whitewashed board and red. Because she has rebelled against her God, they shall fall by the sword. Their little ones shall be dashed in pieces, and their pregnant woman ripped open. Hosea 13:16. God hates fags. America is the land of the damned and the home of the beast. He cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Kings 2:24. I'm paraphrasing here, of course. There were like 100 of these, and they were huge and nailed up everywhere. There were a couple that looked like they were from the Clinton administration, accusing him of being the Antichrist. So I walked through, checking these things out. Edith seemed like such an angry person, I remember thinking specifically. What has to happen to a person to make them so hateful? And that's when I saw the dead body. It was cold bluish white and small. The body of a little boy, probably about 6 years old, about 30 feet in front of me. I walked up to it with such a strange, nonchalant feeling. I know I should have been horrified. But I didn't feel any horror. I felt curiosity. I guess The left leg was caught in a rusty bear trap I hadn't noticed before. It's so absurdly to think of a body as a he rather than an it, was wearing a blue windbreaker and a pair of bloody sweatpants. He had brown hair, his eyes were sunken. I couldn't tell how long he had been dead for. More than a few hours, probably. I don't know much about rigor mortis or anything like that. I can tell you the flesh was very cold and soft. I can't pinpoint the exact moment I decided I had to eat it. It was so fucking surreal. I was looking at the leg, the one in the animal trap, and then I was picking it up, holding it to my teeth. It didn't smell like a dead body. I mean, I guess I don't have a lot of experience with dead bodies. Well, okay, I do now, but you get it. It smelled like ice cream. It smelled like vanilla and sugar. And when I bit into the skin, what came spilling out was, I swear to God, blue funfetti cake. Here's where things get weird. Things were pretty weird already, I guess, but as I was eating this corpse in the woods, I could smell, taste, and see blue funfetti cake. It felt like blue cake in my mouth, but I could hear these awful sounds as I was doing it, like the rendering of flesh and bone and sinew, which what it was really. And as I ate and ate, I just got hungrier and hungrier. I don't know what I was doing. And I wasn't questioning it at all that much. I ate the entire thing. A whole small human corpse, a child. And it was fucking delicious. Here's another weird thing. The body had all sorts of weird marks on it. Weird looking burn marks, bruises, cuts, and what looked like stab wounds. It was pretty clear that this boy had been badly abused before he was murdered. I wasn't thinking about that at the time, though. All I could feel at the time was this intense need to keep shoveling blue cake flesh into my mouth. When I was finished, all I had left was the blue jacket, bloody pants, and dirty sneakers, which I stuck in my backpack. I hung out there for a while, just trying to comprehend actually what I had just done. It was only after about 45 minutes of contemplation that I finally looked up and saw Edith's farmhouse poking out from over the hill. She was sitting on her upstairs porch. She was watching me. When I saw her, she stood up and went back into her house. I walked back home. Never found the Vulpix. Maybe I should have stopped looking for the Vulpix. I didn't know. I think I should have ran home and called the police or something. I didn't. I felt really weirdly chill about the whole ordeal. And I guess maybe I convinced myself that it hadn't happened. I made myself some tea and watched a sitcom rerun on the high-definition TV. I probably could have fallen asleep and forgotten about the entire thing, like it had never happened, except that I brought the backpack of clothes home. A few hours later, I get an Amber Alert on my phone. A little boy has gone missing in my area, and I'm sitting there on these rich people's sofa feeling extremely full and pretty guilty. I know it can't be the same kid. The corpse I ate belonged to a boy younger than the one that was gone missing. It was someone else's little boy, though, and I'm worried the same thing that happened to him is about to happen again. Here's the thing. I'm 95% positive that Edith Grant is involved in the kidnapping and murder of these kids. Call it a hunch. I'm also 100% positive that I can't go to the police with the evidence I have. The bloody clothes of the murder victim, and the contents of my stomach. Edith saw what I did. She knows that I know. I have to do something. There's more to this mystery than I understand. Help me out, Reddit NoSleep. What the hell should I do? I'm all by myself in a house in the woods. It's getting dark. There's a murderer next door. And worst of all, I'm really craving funfetti cake right now.